Hi everybody, welcome to the bunker. I'm the henchman mechanic, and today we're going to tear into that. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. That belongs to my buddy Justin. Came from his grandfather. I have tried to identify this thing. There's no maker's marks on it. I've even resorted to using gasp Google AI to try to identify this thing, and I haven't had any success. You can look there at that big hole. You can see there's supposed to be a 15-inch speaker in it. That speaker has been taken out. It is stored upstairs for safekeeping. It's original, and it's in very, very good condition, so we're trying real hard to preserve that. But I'll come around the back here, show you some of the little clues that have been uncovered. You can see that's a split chassis design. That was more common back in the, I guess, the 1940s, 1950s. Some engineers put the preamp chassis up here on top in an attempt to keep the high gain, low signal level circuits up away from the big power transformers down below. Kind of keep the thing quiet, avoid some of the hum and so forth. I guess it was fairly successful. Down here, we got a really nice, I've looked it up, it's a Triad S38 output transformer. A lot of sources think really highly of that, so we're going to try to be careful with it and keep it in good condition. Looks like a matching power transformer there. We've got almost a typical alignment of tubes in here. We've got your 5U4 rectifier tube here. This one is kind of unusual. It's not unheard of, but this is an OC3. This is a gas-filled cold cathode voltage regulator. For those familiar with electronics, it behaves a lot like a Zener diode. You can put a resistor in series with it, and it forms a shunt voltage regulator. Some designers way back use these like in hi-fi amps and stuff like that, so that you had a very consistent plate voltage on downstream tubes. Couple of original GE 6L6 tubes. I've had these on the analyzer. They're a little bit weak, so we're probably going to end up replacing these. And we've got two more 6SN7 dual triodes here. To me, the 6SN7s are a little bit of a clue to this thing. The 12AX7s, 12AT7s, tubes like that came out in the late 1940s, early 1950s. 6SN7, 6SL7. I think there was a 6SJ7 maybe, or more common before that. So I'm guessing this thing might have been built early to mid 1950s, maybe. I'm not really sure. I can't really tell. Again, like I said, there's no maker's marks on it. I've tried to identify it. Once upon a time, I honestly thought this thing might have been a homebrew job. But if we get up here on the front panel, I picked up a couple of clues that have turned me away from that assumption, and one of them is these marks right here. It says XTAL and MAG. That's crystal and magnetic. Those are two types of phonograph cartridges. And there's two separate inputs because the crystal cartridges put out a higher voltage. It was a little bit lower quality audio, but higher voltage. So, you've got those silk screened there, which leads me to believe that originally this was not a guitar amplifier, but a phonograph amplifier. And you got the markings for the bass, treble, and volume knobs. If you look through the rust, you can see the silk screening on here. You've got an input adjust here. All that tends to suggest a factory construction here, although we have no idea who built it, when, anything like that. Cabinet's kind of beat up. We're not going to do anything with that, or at least I'm not. I don't know when I get it back to Justin. He may choose to do that, but my feeling is that every one of those little nicks and scars had a story, and it's entirely possible that those stories are known only to that amplifier. But old amps like this that are a little bit nicked and beat up and scratched up, that's not obvious signs of abuse. So I'm loath to take the amplifier stories from it. So I'm not going to do anything with that. If you look real close, you can see it's the grill cloth's got that nice squiggly threads run through it. You've seen that a little bit when you look back into the 40s and 50s, early 60s. So it's a cool old amplifier, and we're going to try to get it back in working condition. My buddy says he's played it and really likes the tone. So no modifications, although we are going to do a lot of work to it, because the last time I had this amp, I didn't really have a good place to work on it, so I gave it back to him and forbade him plugging it in because of safety concerns, and we'll see some of that when we get the chassis opened up, get it on the bench. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Stay tuned. We're going to get this thing over on the bench, start breaking it down, and we'll talk more about what I'm going to do to it and why. Thanks again.